I don't think y'all understand that we are in one of the most divine turning points in history. This is one of those turning points like that of our forefathers. And if you don't believe that what you just seen or what you will see,
God sent me President Trump, and he gave me.
And if you don't believe that what's happening is divinely inspired, I don't know what to tell you. How are you guys all doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, in which I'm greatly appreciative of it. Don't forget to follow me on all the platforms you see above and below. Hitting this like button right here is how my content can consistently be recommended to you. And ladies and gentlemen, when you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the bell notification on. That way my content will consistently be notified to you whenever I do post in theory. Don't forget I have another YouTube channel that's called Man Husband Father. Go over there and give me a follow. I will be posting fresh new content, scrubbing the old content is going to be something that's by demand. I definitely encourage women to be over there too. All those, Man, Husband, Father. Go over there, subscribe to the channel. I will let you guys all know when the pilot episode is going to air. So ladies and gentlemen, it has been 100% completely confirmed that RFK Jr. is being sworn in as Secretary of Health and Human Services. And you can say what you want to about him. I told you guys, no matter who gets into these positions, all of us are going to have something to say about something that we don't like about these particular individuals. You know what I mean? You're going to find some way to say they're not qualified, they're not smart enough, they don't have degrees, they don't blah, 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 blah. And we all do the same exact thing, okay? But if somebody is advocating to get to the bottom of getting to the health of our brothers and sisters, our fellow American brothers and sisters, why wouldn't you want that? Anyway, guys, I definitely want you guys to listen to this because it's amazing what comes out of his mouth. And that's why I think that right now we're living in a very pivotal historical moment right now that's going to be for the ages. Golden, that is. Anyway, check this out.
I want to begin by thanking President Trump for giving me this extraordinary opportunity. And I want to introduce my family and thank them for being here. My wife, Cheryl, my cousin, Anthony Shriver, my daughter, Kik, my other daughter, Kira, Catalina Shriver, Joey Shriver, Jackson Hines, and Amaryllis Kennedy. Oh, and I want to thank all of you for your support and throughout this whole 2.5-year journey. My first time in this Oval Office was in 1961, and I came here to meet or 1962. I came here and I had a meeting with my uncle, who was president then, where we talked about the environment. He was involved deeply, as we all know, in restoring physical fitness in this country. He challenged at one point during his administration, he challenged Americans to do a 50-mile walk, which I ultimately did. But I remember the day that my father completed his walk. We were staying up at Camp David, and my father came in after 18 hours walking on the C&O towpath with his feet bleeding and blisters on them. My father had one of his best friends was Al Lowenstein. And Al Lowenstein ultimately was a congressman from New York who was assassinated himself in 1980. But Al Lowenstein had started the Dump Johnson movement to get rid of President Johnson and end the Vietnam War. And at the time that he started it, people just thought it was a fool's errand. And ultimately, he asked my father to run for president against Johnson. My father wouldn't do it at that time, and he asked Gene McCarthy. McCarthy did it, and he joined that campaign. And my father ultimately ran, and Johnson then dropped out. So Al Lowenstein succeeded. And although Al Lowenstein was on the other side now, running against my father with Gene McCarthy, my father wrote him a note, a quote from Emerson, where he said, if a single man plant himself firmly on his own ideal and there abide, the whole wide world will come round to him. For 20 years, I've gotten up every morning on my knees and prayed that God would put me in a position where I can end the childhood chronic disease epidemic in this country. On August 23rd of last year, God sent me President Trump. And he gave me he's now given me, he's kept every promise that he's made to me. He's kept his word in every account and gone way beyond it. I'm so grateful to you, Mr. President. A lot of people told me that I couldn't trust President Trump, that I better get it in writing. And we did a handshake, and everything that he told me he was going to do, he has done. And I'm so grateful to him, and I've told you before, I genuinely believe that you are a pivotal historical figure, and you are going to transform this country at a time when we see all of the indicia of democracy now in tatters in our country. We see the rise of the military-industrial complex, the rise of totalitarianism, these attacks on our Constitution, and this breathtaking epidemic that is disabling our people. President Trump has promised to restore the American dream in this country. A healthy person has 1,000 dreams. A sick person only has one. 60% of our population has only one dream, that they get better. President Trump has promised that he's going to restore America's strength. But we can't be a strong nation if we have a weak citizenry. If people are sick, 60% of our people are sick, 77%, as President Trump mentioned, of our children cannot qualify for military service. And we need a man on a white horse now. We need somebody who is willing to come in and has the spine and the guts and the strength to challenge orthodoxies, to stand in the way of vested interests, and to break institutions that have turned against our democracy. President Trump has shown again and again that he is that hero. And most recently, I greatly appreciate it, and I called you the day that you announced the termination of USAID. My uncle started USAID in 1961 for humanitarian purposes, to put our country on the side of the poor. It has been captured by the military-industrial complex. It has become a sinister propagator of totalitarianism and war across the globe. And very few people understand how sinister this agency really is. And President Trump saw that, and he stood up to it with a masterstroke. And we want to do the same thing with the institutions that are stealing the health of our children. We need a revolutionary figure, and you are that figure, and I'm very grateful for you for giving me this opportunity. I want to recognize some of the allies that I've had in this battle for a long time: Senator Rand Paul, Senator Ron Johnson, Senator Roger Marshall, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Buddy Carter, who've all been champions of the MAHA agenda before I even came along. I'm very grateful for you for standing strong. Thank you very much, President Trump.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. To be able to stand as a man and thank another man, to be able to sit there and say things like what you prayed for. And look, it's such a time right now that God answered it. Do y'all understand that Trump has two people working with him right now, basically three that I know of, that were Democrat? Elon Musk was a Democrat. RFK was a Democrat, went independent. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. And here y'all cry about Trump as the most divisive. Trump got women working for him in authoritative positions. Okay, here y'all crying about everything, and look what's unfolding before our eyes, but you can't see it because all you can see is your hatred and your dislike of Trump. Why not just say things like, let's see where this is going to take us, in which I think is going to be in a direction that y'all are not going to be expecting in a good way. You guys will let me know what you think about this by putting it in the comments below at this video. Don't forget to do what you see in that animation right there. The next video that I most likely will be doing in chronological order, you know what I'm saying, You know what I'm about to say about this too. I'm not editing this. I'm Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.